How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel, and in this video we are going to be talking about Tesla stock and the overall stock market. So we're going to go over and look at exactly what to expect for Tesla for this upcoming week. We're also going to be going over exactly the massive deal that is happening between Elon Musk and Twitter. Unfortunately, right now the deal is stopped. We're going to talk about exactly what to expect, how this could potentially affect Tesla and also Twitter. So we're going to go over and look at all this important information in this video coming up. As you can see over here, we have Tesla that is down 7.91% for the week. We saw some extreme volatility from last week, so hopefully we might potentially see some Tesla recovery in the next few days, especially as we head into a fresh new week. When you look at the price action for Tesla on Friday, it was pretty solid. We're up 5.71%. And also, when you look at also how the overall market closed on Friday, it was pretty good. We had a pretty green day, so the bulls were in control on Friday. As you can see, also during the weekend, we had Bitcoin that is bouncing pretty well. Right now, we're sitting at $31,182. So that is relatively positive because the overall market, Bitcoin, and etc., all of it were just going down last week aggressively to the downside. But we're seeing some upside movement, not only with the stock market, but also with Bitcoin. So we have some important earnings coming up for this upcoming week. Of course, we have the big retail companies like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. They're going to be announcing their earnings. It's going to be starting on a Tuesday. We have, before the market open, Walmart, Home Depot that's going to be announcing, and also on Wednesday before the market open, we have Lowe's announcing their earnings. So for this upcoming week, we also have some important economic data we need to be watching out for that is related to retail sales. So on Tuesday, May 17th, we're going to be getting the retail sales number for the month of April. So that's going to be announced before the market open at 8:30 a.m. So that's going to be one of the important things we need to be watching out for next week. So now let's talk about exactly what to expect for Tesla stock for this upcoming week. So when you look at Tesla, we had a pretty decent close on Friday for Tesla stock. We closed above $750. That was the price point level that we were watching as a pretty good support area. And if we have a continuation move to the upside for Monday, if we see the overall stock market gapping up on Monday, we might see Tesla stock trading between 780 to 790, and when the market opens, we might see a push up to $800. And if that's not the case, if we gap up and sell off, we might break down below the $700 price level. So we're going to be sitting between 800 to 750 by Monday tomorrow. So that's going to be the price prediction for Tesla stock in the short term. But the week, as I mentioned, we have some important data. We have some big retail companies announcing earnings, so that can have a swing on the overall stock market. But let's go over and look at what to expect for Twitter, right? So we have this massive Twitter news that was announced last week that Elon Musk stopped the deal from going through. It's on pause right now. And this is mainly due to because of the number of spam accounts. So out of the total number of Twitter users, we have 5% of it actually being fake and spam accounts. And Elon Musk didn't like it, even though they mentioned that some of the users are spam on their earnings call when Twitter announced earnings a few weeks ago. But moving forward, we're going to be going over a look at exactly what to expect. Can this deal not go through? And if that does not go through, Twitter stock could potentially see a massive decline. And also, we might see some volatility also with Tesla stock too. If Elon Musk drops this deal, we might see Tesla stock going up, because a lot of investors were nervous about, okay, if Elon Musk is going to be acquiring Twitter, his attention and all of his time and commitment and money could distract him from Tesla, right? So people were worried about that. But if he drops Twitter, then that could be a very bullish sign for Tesla investors, and they might be excited, and we might see a pop-up on Tesla stock. But we're going to go over and watch a video breaking down exactly how this deal could potentially go through in the near future. They talk about exactly, how the evaluations, how this multi-billion-dollar deal can shift a lot based off of what Elon Musk is doing, and also some short sellers, they're making moves on Twitter stock too based off of the data that they've got, which they're saying is pretty solid. So we're gonna go over and watch this video breakdown.
In the beginning, when Musk announced this deal, you said that $54.20 was actually too low to pay for Twitter. What do you think he's wind up paying now?
Well, I think the whole tech world has changed. The whole world has really changed, but especially the tech world since he came out with that offer. You've obviously seen a collapse in stocks for a variety of reasons. You've had some very disappointing earnings out of tech. You've had the backup in rates. You've had Fed tightening. You've had the shutdown situation in China. So all that has contributed to a huge re-rating in tech valuations, most likely, perhaps not a permanent one, but one that will likely last for a very long time. So I think Musk saw what occurred in the market. I think he saw what occurred with Tesla also, which is a big foundation for, the wealth that's going to fuel his bid. And I think he is angling for a cheaper price. So that's going to be the $60,000 question: is what price gets the deal done? He certainly has a lot of negotiating leverage right now, just given how there are few other buyers, given what's happened with tech. And you've also seen a lot of changes within Twitter since the deal was announced. You had yesterday a couple of senior departures. So, the company is ready to be acquired. And I think Elon is attempting to kind of just lower the price here.
Okay. We don't know what that price will be, but what we can do is try and work out what we think it's worth. Adam, what do you think Twitter is worth right now?
It's really hard to say. You do have in the last couple of days. Yesterday, you saw some buying in the tech stocks that have been really washed out and out of favor. Obviously, you have an extension of that rally again today. So if you see somewhat of a floor getting put in underneath the stock, you're probably looking at something in the mid to high 30s. That would probably be a floor as far as a Twitter valuation, but it's really up in the air. I think a lot of it will be dependent on the market. There's supposed to be a Twitter shareholder vote that takes place when the offer is made. So, he spoke earlier the week at the Financial Times event, as your prior conversation noted, and he sounded a bit ambivalent. And I think a lot of that just has to do with how in flux tech markets are right now. And I think a big concern was also what was happening with Tesla shares. So this can obviously really, create somewhat of a relief as far as concerns about further sales on his part.
Hey, Adam, do you think that this further emboldens any kind of short sellers here? I mean, Hindenburg Research was already short despite Musk's bid for Twitter. Do you think that this kind of ramps those positions up?
It's hard. I mean, you're dealing, with information that is getting tweeted out, at all hours of the day. So it's a really, really difficult situation right now. I don't necessarily know if I would be aggressively short it right now at these levels, but I certainly think 54.20, is looking very increasingly unlikely to be the final bid to the extent there is an acquisition.
Adam, is Twitter worth more?
Sorry,
carry on.
No, go ahead.
Is Twitter worth more with less than 5% spam bots or more than 5% spam bots?
Presumably those bots are skewing kind of the impressions as far as advertisers are concerned. So I think from the market perspective, if they were to come out with a much lower, user figure, that would probably spook some people, but advertisers would probably appreciate the greater transparency, and that could help attract more advertisers to the platform. So if the objective here is to provide a really thorough view of who is using Twitter to advertisers, I think, again, you could probably see ad rates actually tick higher. Markets, again, would be spooked maybe on the headline about, a drop in monthly average users or daily average users. But I think advertisers would probably appreciate, a more cleaned up platform.
Hey, Adam, so Twitter's down, Tesla up, right? You have the NASDAQ 100, you're really flying higher here, 2.8%, S&P up by 2 percentage points. And I'm just wondering what your read-through is of a Twitter and Tesla dynamic into the broader market.
I think one of the contributors to the tech slump, there's been many contributors, has been this concern that Elon would have to sell a big chunk of Tesla shares. So I think removing that overhang is one of the reasons why you're ticking higher today. You have a couple of other things as well, including some of the news out of Shanghai overnight. But like I said, the bombed out tech stocks have been acting well now for the second straight session, which is somewhat encouraging as far as tech possibly finding a floor here. In which case then that could help Twitter shareholders as far as the price cut that Elon is seeking being a little bit lower than feared.
Okay, let's put you on the spot. Does the deal get done, yes or no?
I think it gets done, but at a lower price. Lower price than 54.20.
Certainly lower than 54.20.
Yeah.
And in terms of that bombed out, do you think we are bombed out now? Do you think we're getting near a floor in tech valuations? Because if you take 2000 as a precedent, potentially we've got a lot further to go.
I think that you are at least for the near term, you've had such aggressive, violent selling that you are at a level where you're going to see some of these names find a floor. I don't, though, think you're going to return back to the levels where we were just even a few months ago. I think you had a 90s-like tech bubble that occurred during the pandemic that has popped. So a lot of these stocks are going to be trading at, these current depressed valuations for a while. I thought the Interactive Corp, their earnings report, they put out a very interesting comment in their shareholder letter, which I encourage people to read, just talking about how they think that you've seen a permanent resetting lower in tech valuations. And this is something they actually welcome, because they are looking to possibly add to their portfolio of internet companies. So I think for, a firm like that takes a real hard look at doing M&A in the group. I thought it was an interesting comment for them to make, that they think that these valuations are going to be permanently reduced for the foreseeable future.
So what to expect for the overall market for tomorrow? Hopefully we get a continuation move to the upside. If not, we might see a gap up and a potential sell-off. So expect this market to potentially have pretty big swings, especially on Tuesday. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Elon Musk's Twitter deal? Do you think that it's going to go through or not? Is the evaluation of Twitter is going to be changing a lot? Is the deal going to be changing? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinion. And of course, if you're new to the channel too, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell, and check out the links in the description box below if you want free stocks too. But I'll catch you guys on another video. Have a wonderful day.